Okay, hello everybody. Good morning. Maria Banga, founder of the association Hope for the Abused and the Battered, psychotherapist, motivational speaker, so many things in one. I want to talk this morning about COVID-19 and mental health. You know, I'm so passionate about mental health. I'm the mental health advocate, Global Mental Health Pen Network executive for Cameroon and stuff like that. Yeah, and I want to look at the ABCDE model for dealing with anxiety and stress. Simple, A, B, C, D, E. It's so easy to remember A, B, C, D, E. Because the last time I was talking about the 3 A's, which are acknowledge, accept, and adapt, as explained by Dr. Vikram Patel. And today I want to look at the ABCDE model. I learned this during my CBT course, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, and it was reawakened during the Life Assist program that I was taking, and that just made me qualify as an affiliate. And so I was like, yeah, share this with your viewers and with people. You know, you never know who can be interested in this model. So the ABCDE model is a simple mnemonic developed by Albert Ellis in the field of rational-emotive behavior therapy. That is where cognitive behavioral therapy developed from. That helps people mentally walk through a reflection process to consider if they want or need to change, their thinking and therefore their behavior around some emotions in order to make better choices. You know, we sometimes have problems, mental health challenges or emotional distress, because the things that are happening are causing us to react in a certain way, and those ways are not the best way, and before we know it, we are stuck and we keep feeling more and more frustrated and depressed, and before realizing we are acting in that way. You know, for example, you raise your voice, you get angry, you stop talking to somebody, you do all of those kind of things. So yes, the ABCDE model wants to help us to walk through this mental and reflective process. Like I was musing today, are you ready to face the consequences of your choices? If you think about the consequences before you make a choice, then the likelihood of you even doing some certain things will reduce. Because if you think about any kind of language you want to use on somebody, and then maybe you remember that person is a violent person, or that person should stop me from doing something or something like that, you're like, well, then maybe I should change the language, or maybe I should write it instead, or maybe I should first speak to somebody. But you can only do that when you take time to reflect. That is to be rational. And yes, this is a good model. So ABCDE stands for A, activating agent; B, belief system; C, emotional consequences of A and B; D, disputing irrational thoughts and beliefs; E, cognitive and emotional effects of updated beliefs. Cognitive simply means thought, like the way you interpret it, the cognizance, that's your thought pattern. And then the emotional effects, how it makes you feel. And can you sit with that feeling? Do you feel like, nah, being taken for granted? Nah, what is this virus about? Nah. And then after you have thought about it all, do you now look at it in a different way? For example, I am currently in a stage where I have accepted that there is an outbreak, pandemic, but that it doesn't stop me from living, and that I can adapt, and that I can come to my office. This week I have come to the office every day, and this is the first week since that outbreak I've come to my office Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. My office is like 2 minutes away from my home. So I'm good, and I protect myself, and I've started to wear my clothes again. I've passed that stage where it was all panic. So yes, that is it. I have activated the event. I have worked on my belief system. It was first all panic, and and then now, calm down. What is the emotional consequence of staying in that panic mode? Does it help you? You have a dispute in your home, and you don't want to address that dispute because you are scared of causing trouble. You know, maybe you are with a violent partner or an irrational partner or something like that. And so you just bottle it up, you stay quiet, you don't talk about it, or maybe you burst out what happens? How do you feel? You feel more frustrated. You feel more ignored. You feel more invalidated. You feel, because they too react in their own way. That is why C is the emotional consequences of A and B. So you see it, like you catch it. Is that what I want for next time? I'm going to use a personal example later on. And so that's not what you want. You don't want to feel that way emotionally. And so I am going to dispute the way I'm thinking. It's probably irrational. What's your belief? Oh, they don't care. Anyway, no matter how I talk about it, they're going to act this way, all of that. Are you sure? Have you asked for communication? Have you put it on the table in a way? Have you heard from them? Have you spoken to somebody else? There are always several alternatives. But we will only consider them when we calm down, when we look at even our own selves in the mirror. Because even the way you are thinking, to another person, it may be irrational. And then remember, it is the way you feel, the effects on you, that should motivate you to even do all of this. And E, cognitive and emotional effects of updated beliefs. Look at the way I'm feeling this morning. Seriously, I had a misunderstanding with my partner just 2 days ago. Look at the way I'm feeling this morning. I'm like on top of my game. I did my workout this morning. It wasn't easy, but I knew I need to do that. And I was able through the process while I was working out to think about the ways I may have addressed the situation a bit better, although I also knew I had made a lot of efforts. And then I was able to now do an audio to make amends, and also to now say, okay, this is what I want to do now to protect myself from further things like that. And well, I told myself, well, give yourself a break. This is not the time when you want to start having getting into this kind of whatever misunderstanding or stuff like that. I mean, the COVID-19 pandemic outbreak is already challenging enough. I don't want to add emotional and relational quagmires into the whole setup. So that is it. But I have been able to come to this conclusion or make this choice after carefully thinking about all of this. In the write-up, we can really see how the model is explained, and then we can decide if we want to use the model in our own lives or not. And then we can journal and see the difference. I have journaled and written books, and I'm working on the 7th one now. I really see the difference in my life, and I'm like, if this has worked for you, it can probably work for so many other people. So it's like, why keep the knowledge to myself, right? So I'm like, yeah, well, let me keep sharing and inspiring, motivating people, encouraging people. And if anybody wants to reach out to me, for example, for more help, they can go to my website, www.mariabanga.com, or they can go to my association's website, www.hopefortheabuseandbattered.com, and reach out. We offer psychotherapeutic support. I'm a psychotherapist myself. And what can I do? I mean, we'll listen to you. We would formulate the issues, and then we would look at the different ways we can work on those different issues. And then that is that. There is hope, especially now with COVID. Everybody is stressed. Everybody is worked out and stuff like that. But if we take our time to reflect very well, or to reach out for help, or to even, ask for communication, we can get there. So thank you very much. Until next time, I am yours, Maria Banga.